Alright, so what I have here is 2 whole chickens. Use them in a 2-gallon bag for a brining solution. Left them in there overnight. This helps with moisture content, flavor. I'm going to drain these off and we'll spatchcock them. This means I'm basically just going to cut the spine out so they'll lay more flat on the smoker. Alright, these whole chickens, pretty much minimal trimming on these things. We're going to do what's called spatchcocking them. So I'll take off some of this flabby skin here, but basically each side of the tail, got these poultry shears. We're going to go and just take the spine out and lay this thing open. This is just going to help speed up cook time a little bit. Chicken's a really good thing to smoke if you don't have a lot of time, like good for a weekday. I normally don't cook a whole lot during my work week because I don't have a lot of time. Work longer shifts. So thought I had all them internal doohickeys out. I didn't. I'm not going to use that. It's a gizzard, looks like. But I'll take this. Dispose of the parts you don't want. Right here you get this extra skin there. If you get right up in here, just kind of split that just a little bit. Get that thing, it'll lay a lot more flat. You can tuck the wings if you want to, or whatever. The reason being, these things, the little tips right here could burn, but I don't eat those anyway. So yeah, we'll make sure we got all the funky bits out. Now after you wet brown these, which I did overnight, you just want to pat them dry really good. And I'll do that here in a minute once I get them both opened up. You don't want to go and rinse it. If you rinse it, you're going to end up washing a lot of your brine away, which defeats the purpose of doing it. Again, we'll just go right here about where the tail is. Get over here on the other side. We can see this. Just take that off of there. Open it up, make sure I didn't miss anything in this one. Oh, this one's cleaner. Lay that open. It's this chunk of skin right here. We'll take that off. Let me push a little bit, open this up. Same thing on that side. Flip it, and your bird lays more flat. And I'm trying to decide here, I just want to cook them this way, or do I want to split it down the middle? I basically have 2 chicken halves. Thinking about it, I'll probably just leave it like this. Honestly, I'll put these on the bottom rack, breast towards the firebox. But get ready to season these up a little bit here. Now, I know I said earlier, but I didn't show it, so yeah, get your paper towels and pat all this dry as you can get it. We want that skin dry so it'll crisp up when we smoke it. All right, we'll start with the underside. Now, the brine, that's salt water, so you don't want to add a whole lot of salt on here. We use a little bit of Diamond Crystal Kosher salt, just a light on this side. It'd be a little bit more on the skin side, but you don't want a whole lot. End up getting this thing too salty. And then some coarse ground black pepper. Just keeping it simple on this. Want that smoke flavor to come through. The other one's mostly off camera here, so just kind of not worry about that, I guess. Get under here, get the skin a little bit here, a little bit of that salt on it. There you go. So you don't want a lot. And the next thing I'll use, a little garlic powder. Now, some garlic powder will do for you, help give you a little bit of color, especially on your presentation side. Which we'll flip over and do that here. Lay this thing out, get those thighs out there. I'll do a little more salt on this side, just because of the skin. Salt helps pull moisture out. When you do a chicken, crispy skin is definitely what you want. Do this garlic powder. And the black pepper. Making a mess over. I usually do this in that one of those tubs I bought. When you're doing this, make sure you manipulate this thing. Get these sides. Prepare the legs like that. And the top part along here. Do not forget your sides. Alright, going to get this thing here fired up. I'll get it good and hot. Brush these grates off a little bit. In the Firebox, I already got the old stuff cleaned out, the ash. A little bit of wood from last time that was left in there. Use that to start the fire with. A little bit of brown paper down there, spray that with cooking oil. Help get it going good. I'll put some lump charcoal on this too to help establish a bed of coals. Alright, to preheat, when you first get this thing started, it's going to start looking like that. Take your shovel and kind of poke, you knock that down. Blood will break in the coals. See, they just kind of fall apart. You got a nice coal bed down there, and we start adding more wood on top of it. Get this thing hot, you can start cleaning it. Use your brush and just go over the top of it real good like this. But on your top rack, especially, if you look down here on the bottom rack, you see you got little nasty stuff hanging down. You don't want that hanging on the bottom of your top rack. So that's what's going to end up down on your food. So I just kind of go under and get some of that off. And once you do that, it falls down. Do this and knock it off bottom right through them holes. It's just an old nylon brush. I use a steel brush too if I'm gonna do like a deep cleaning, but just for general prep, I generally just use this thing right here. When you put meat on, you'll get seasoning on these front bars. I usually try to knock that off of there. Don't want any dry crusties falling on the new food. I'm putting chickens on these wire racks here. I know they're not the same size. I actually got two small ones and this one bigger one here I got at the chef store. But I'm gonna get the chickens on those, cook them on the bottom rack, and then I'm gonna do some sausages. I got a few store-bought and I got a bunch of homemade ones, and I'm gonna do those on the top here. It's kind of hard to do this stuff with one hand and film, so got them in there, breast towards the firebox. I get this stuff in there, show you what I got. These are some homemade sausages I made. Beef, pork, and they've got jalapeno and high temp cheddar in them. And it's just some old store-bought stuff. These are hot Italian sausages. The reason I bought them is because I ran out of the homemade sausage I had. I need to make some more whenever I can find the time. But yeah, tell me what looks better. I believe I take the homemade. And of course, you know, yard birds down here cooking. I'm gonna try to keep these around 225 for a little while. And then the sausages, when they finally come off, should be about the same time. I want to jump the temperature up on this bird. Try to crisp up the skin before it finishes off. And it's sitting right at just about exactly on 225, which we'll want to be. And to achieve that and get some good smoke flavor, because you want more smoke flavor on chicken initially, because it's going to cook faster than like a big brisket. On my stack here, you see I've got it cracked about 1/4 of the way. You open it more, raise the temperature and let more smoke out. You want more smoke flavor, you can close it down a little bit. And then over here, Firebox, vent wide open, and use this little piece of metal here to kind of keep the door cracked a little bit too. Because you don't want to choke it down. If you start choking your fire down like you do on, say, a Weber kettle or something, then you're making it smolder, and when you do that, you tend to get dirty smoke, and that's what you don't want. You want clean smoke from clean combustion, which maybe the way the sun is, I can show you here. A smoke like that, that's what you want. So it's real wispy, you got a kind of a blue color to it. That's good smoke there. That's clean smoke. All right, another thing you can do about using an offset, like for controlling your temperature and stuff, you don't want a whole lot of wood in there. You know, flames like that are about 4 or 5 inches high at most. Temperature was getting up closer to 245, so what I did is I took the shovel and that one crossways log there that split, I pulled it back toward the door from the firebox, and I have this one sitting kind of on top to be preheating. I pulled it all the way back to the side where it'll mostly go out, so it's kind of smoldering. But you can just kind of push it back in there a little bit or whatever, and set one of these where it kind of, you know, the end of it will catch. You don't want to throw the whole thing in there until about half of it's burning. Then you can turn it crossways and push it back and start a new split. And that's one thing I do where I can maintain my temperatures better. You can do a lot with a fire. It's not all just the vents and stuff. If you just you know, adjusting the way your wood is and the size of your splits. A lot of people think it's all just the vents and all that kind of stuff, but the fire and the way your splits are positioned in the firebox play a huge role in it. And see, I said it was getting up around 245. If you look at it here, I got such a glare with the sun. It's back down around maybe 228, 230, something like that. So it's dropping. And I hadn't done anything with the vents. I mean, the firebox door is open, but a lot of times I'll cook with it all the way open. Or it's kind of windy today, so I'll leave it partially cracked. And on this Yoder, I wish they had a thing like this that came out and had notches in it, but they don't. So if you shut this door, see, it wants to rest just about all the way shut. So that's not what I want. I'll crack it a little bit and put this there. And that keeps it open about 1 inch, plus the vents, which I guess messing with the door. We got it knocked down a little bit, but that's kind of how I like mine, especially if it's windy. Gives you a little better airflow, better combustion. All right, about 1 hour and 45 minutes in, still holding at 225. Let's take a look here. Starting to get some color on them. So next step, I'll put some bigger wood in here. Just added one. We want to get the temperature up here probably another 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna run it up to about 325 degrees probably to crisp that skin up. Them thighs, it don't matter if they get up around 170, 180, it ain't gonna hurt them. They got a lot of fat content in them. That breast, you want to cook it about 165. That's a lot thicker, so Jacking that temperature up, it'll crisp the skin, help finish that breast off. Alright, I'm running about 325 now. Sausages, just temp them, they are ready to come off. About 168. Let me get these off here. They're a little warm. I brought freaking tongs for it. Use them. I'll be temping that chicken again here shortly. Don't want it cooking this hot too awful long. I think I put a little melted butter on them over top of the chicken. And these sausages, these things, good to go. Alright, got that springy feel to them. Good and snappy. And I made these in an earlier video on this channel, so. Love some jalapeno cheddar. There we are. A couple of them's a little wrinkly, the skinnier ones. The big one's nice and plump. That's a plate of goodness right there. These chickens keep on going for a little bit. Yeah, they wrinkled up a bit more than I like. I probably left them on there 7-8 minutes too long. And the carryover probably took them up to about 175 maybe. Something like that. It'd be alright though. You can also take these as soon as you pull them, drop them in ice water. It stops to cook right then, but I don't worry too much about it. These aren't bad. They'll still be plenty juicy. Little paper plate action. Little barbecue sauce, little slaw. I didn't get to make my own coleslaw today, so it's a lot better than the store-bought stuff, but hey, can't beat some smoked sausage. Alright, temping these. Just a second ago, the breast is temping about 150, so we're getting there. Alright, these are just about done. I'm just going to give them a little brush of a little bit of butter on top here. The skin's good and crispy, you can hear it. Kind of bubbled up there a little bit. Some good stuff. I like some crispy skin on some chicken. I don't know if you can hear it, probably not in the video, but see here. Yeah. Trying to get butter all over everything out here. And this is not going to make the skin soggy or anything. This is still going to cook for this probably another 20 minutes or so. In fact, butter as it cooks, it'll help crisp up that skin a bit. Still rocking about 325 in there. Should be nearing completion. Alright, got them things pulled off in the house. Everything looks good. Like I said, them tips, them wings a little crispy, but I'll eat that part anyway. Ben's got his leg up, posing. Alright, rested for about 15 minutes. Just made a little test slice, a little wedge here. See the juice in there, look at that. And you can't beat that. Plenty of juice retention. That comes from that overnight brine. And I just tried a bite of that. Holy crap, that is good. Seasoning really works well with it. Not too salty, not too peppery. Really good. Real good and juicy. Skin's crispy. Definite win. I've cooked a lot of chicken parts. I've cooked chicken quarters. Even cooked a couple of halves. This is the first time doing. This is the first time doing whole chickens though. Dirt cheap too. When I was going to go buy this yesterday, I was going to get some chicken parts. And when I looked, I think the bone-in breast, which is, it was 2 pieces, so basically one whole breast split in half. That thing was like $10. I got both of these whole chickens for like $14. So, yeah, you have to do a little work yourself, a little butchery, but hey, you can't beat it. Dirt cheap, really good, healthy. So, Yeah, if you like this stuff, this kind of content, what I'm doing with the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see. If you want to see more how-to type stuff, fire management, cleaning the pit, cooking various things. I'm all for trying different types of meat and stuff. So, yeah, just let me know what you want to see. Thanks for watching.